Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather. Let's take a little preview of what's coming up in the video today. Up first, we have the first appearance of a tumbled natural shell Cordovan piece on a Johnny the Fox with a color number 8 shell Cordovan interior. Then we have a couple special one-offs that are currently on sale. A Fat Herbie in Cigar double reverse shell Cordovan, a Fat Herbie in English tan Dublin, our Johnny the Fox in natural shell Cordovan, Bugs Moran in intense blue shell Cordovan with a reverse interior, and this one is hand stitched. A Bugs Moran in English tan Dublin, and a Bugs Moran in black shell Cordovan. And shipping out today we have a Johnny the Fox, an Amaretto shell Cordovan with a color 8 shell interior, natural shell Cordovan with a mock horsehide interior, natural shell Cordovan with a reverse interior. Then we have a Frank the Enforcer in intense blue shell Cordovan, Tony the Ant in natural Chromexcel, and a Johnny the Fox in black marbled shell Cordovan with a reverse interior. All right, let's take a closer look at this brand new tumbled shell Cordovan in the natural shell. This is the first time that we've seen one in a natural shell. In the announcement video for the tumbled shells, we had a whiskey tumbled shell, which is slightly different than this natural. I think it's pretty similar, although for me, I kind of prefer the natural over the whiskey. I thought the whiskey was just a little darker. The whiskey's a little bit more yellow and golden brown as well, but this natural is incredible looking. Take a look at that. It appears textured, and it is textured. Unlike the marbled shells, we can feel some ridges and sort of peaks and valleys in the texture of this tumbled shell. And what I like about it is the look. It sort of has this tipped look where those peaks are slightly darker, a little bit more of a reddish brown on the natural shell. And I just think that is a really cool look. And to top it off, we still have that really nice shell Cordovan luster that you can see there. It's almost like a wet look on the shell. And I think when you combine that luster with a little bit more texture, I think that's a really cool and interesting combination. And on the inside of this Johnny the Fox, I have a color 8 shell Cordovan. So I have not put these up on the site just yet. I have made a small batch of these. I think we made 5 of them. So I'll be putting those up later this evening. So look forward to that one on our website. And then I wanted to show you a special event we've got going on to help celebrate Father's Day. We're offering up a 10% discount on our website, free personalization. We'll put a monogram on the wallet for no charge. And then I'm also introducing new items every day on our flash sale page. And I wanted to launch it off strong here. So I've got a few different special items, and even by the time I'm filming this, I think a few of these are already gone. But I wanted to give you a look anyways. We have a Cigar double reverse Fat Herbie, and we made a limited run of these about 6 months ago around Christmas time. And they went really quickly. So I did have one left that was holding for a special occasion, and that's this one here. So on the outside, we've got Cigar shell Cordovan, which is a really nice true brown, I would say. It's much less red than the color 8 shell. It's more of like a very even sort of neutral brown where it's not too red, not too green. It's just a true brown. And then we've got a reverse shell Cordovan piece in the center with the ink stamp in the bill slot. And on the inside, this is why we call it double reverse, is because we have shell and reverse shell on the outside and the inside. Another Fat Herbie on the flash sale, one-off sale that we're doing right now. You can check these out on the flash sale page of the website. But this is my favorite Dublin color right now, the English tan Dublin. It reminds me of the Amaretto shell Cordovan, which this is Amaretto shell. I really like that sort of orangey, vibrant tan that the English tan Dublin has and the Amaretto have. I just think it's a really beautiful shade. And check out this interesting piece of Dublin. This one has really incredible grain character, especially on the bill slot here. And again, it's sort of like the tumbled shells we were looking at a minute ago, where I have this texture, but also this sort of wet look, the smooth and bright shiny luster. We get that same effect on the English tan Dublin here, and there's something about that that's pure magic. I just really like looking at the combination of texture and luster together. What makes this Fat Herbie a little bit more unique is there's no stamping on the inside. So normally we put our Ashland brand on the bottom right card holder there, but this one we've omitted that to make the leather shine just a little bit more. So here's a natural shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox. And this piece of natural is sweet. It's got these very interesting striations that are inherent and natural in some of the shells that you can see. They're sort of horizontal on this back piece of shell. It might be difficult to see. They're subtle and more prominent at different angles, but I think that natural character in there just makes the shell even more interesting. This Johnny the Fox is also on sale. We're doing half off or something like this. What this is a mistake that we had made with the personalization. So this one has been personalized for S.T, but I forget what happened. We made a mistake that maybe it wasn't the right initials or something like that. So we have to get rid of this one. And unfortunately, it doesn't have a home. So you can give it a home if your initials happen to be ST, or if that doesn't bother you, you can get this for a nice discount. Similarly to the last wallet I just showed you, that Johnny the Fox, this one also has a monogram without a home. This one has been personalized for MCR, and this is a really nice piece of black shell Cordovan on our Bugs Moran. And I like the sleekness of the black shell, just the way that it reflects and bounces the light. There's something about these black shells that they're just so sleek and cool looking. On the inside, more black shell Cordovan and the Horween ink stamp on the center. I think this looks really cool. I like the dark green with the black. For some reason, that just really meshes properly to my eye. So if you're looking for a cheap, inexpensive shell piece and you don't mind an MCR on the front, this one is also up on the site. Up next, we have another Bugs Moran, but this one is in English Tan Dublin, and a minute later, I still like the English Tan Dublin. You'll notice here, this one is a little bit more orange than the Fat Herbie I showed you a second ago. We do see a natural range of colors on the Dublin, and this is not as dramatic of a range, but you can, if you look closely, you can see the one on the left is slightly darker, a little bit more of like a reddish brown, and on the right, it's a little bit more yellow. Still has a lot of orange in it, but definitely not as dark as the Fat Herbie. And I think just before I started filming this video, somebody picked up this Bugs Moran. So I know this is going to a good home. This is a really nice piece. Can't wait for you to have it. And thank you again for supporting us. All right, the last item for today's one-off flash sale. To kick it off, this is another Bugs Moran in a sweet piece of intense Blue Shell Cordovan. This one is a little bit on the dark side, a little bit more navy than some of the more vibrant intense blue shells. I'd say this is closer to a navy, and it is very nice. It might not be translating on the video, but at certain angles, this one turns more blue. Like right now, it looks very aqua blue to me. And here it almost looks dark enough to be a black, but it's definitely a navy blue. What makes this Bugs Moran cool is not only do we have a really cool sort of symmetrical look of a reverse interior. And what I mean by symmetrical, I like when it's light, dark, dark, light. When these close together, I think that's just a really interesting look. But on top of that, this Bugs Moran has been hand stitched, which is an additional charge for most of these wallets. So this one will be up on the site for a nice sale as well. If you're looking to pick these up, please do so if you like one of these. But also over the next week or so, I'll be adding new items to the page just at random intervals. I've got a lot of interesting things I'll be putting up there. Moving on to some of the stuff that we're shipping out today. This is our Johnny the Fox in Amaretto Shell Cordovan with a color number 8 reverse interior. And we actually had a couple extra of these because we had a wholesale customer that committed to some of these, but they had to back out and take a little bit less. So I think we have maybe 3 more of these available now in that remarkable piece of Amaretto shell on the outside with color 8 on the inside. So the Johnny the Fox is our most popular style. So if you're a shell Cordovan fan, I recommend this one because the Amaretto is my favorite shell color. And we have this tough to make color 8 shell interior. And the reason that it's difficult to make is not only is constructing a wallet of this style just challenging to craft, but also we need to pick specifically thin and rare pieces of shell for all the layers of card holders on the inside of this Johnny the Fox. So these are tough to make, and it's a beautiful color, just a beautiful look. I hope you like this one, Essling. Thank you again for supporting us. I have another Johnny the Fox here in natural shell Cordovan, and this is a really nice piece of shell on the outside with a great shiny luster, really smooth look and feel. This one has been personalized for LEB, and this has a mock horsehide interior. And I noticed immediately after holding the 100% shell wallet, after holding this guy, this is quite a bit thicker when we have the shell pieces on the inside, as opposed to the horsehide Latigo. So this Latigo horsehide that we use for the mock interior and some of the black interiors, they're quite a bit thinner. And I like a thinner wallet. Some people like it a little bit more substantial. So if you want more substantial, shell might be the way to go. If you're trying to slim down and get as thin as possible, I would suggest the horsehide without question. And I have another natural shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox to show you. And I really wanted to show this one because the shell on the outside is about as good as it gets. And I don't know how well this translates. The shell and all the leathers are things that you really have to experience in person. There's a smell to it. There's a feel to it that you can't experience over the internet. But I'm hoping that I can demonstrate by the way that it looks with that smooth and shiny luster, just how nice it feels. It's perfectly smooth and just has this really rich feel to it. So when you're holding this wallet in your hand, it's just very satisfying to hold. And that shell is really cool looking. On the inside of this Johnny the Fox, we've combined it with a color number 8 reverse interior. So if you were to take the color number 8 shell interior like this and flipped all of these pieces backwards, the back side of the color 8 looks like this. And it's more of like a reddish orangey tan. I like the way that both of them wear in. I find that the reverse interiors are a little bit more easily filled in when they get scuffed and scratched on the inside of the wallet. So you might be interested in the reverse shell if you're more into a unique look that you want to upgrade later. And speaking of really cool shells, this is a Frank the Enforcer and a remarkable piece of intense Blue Shell Cordovan. This one is much lighter in color than the intense blue we saw a minute ago. This is like a vivid aqua blue on the bottom pieces here at this angle, and I'm noticing the top carb piece is a little bit darker. That does tend to change at different angles. Man, that's cool. This is a really great color on the intense blue shell, and sometimes I forget to show the backside. So in the Frank the Enforcer, the front was designed with these 2 card slots, and we have 1 card slot in the back. But what's cool about the Frank is there's a middle slot as well that's larger, and you can fit US dollars folded in half very easily in there. This is a wallet that a lot of minimalists come to us for, and a front pocket wallet user might really like this Frank the Enforcer. And another semi-minimalist wallet here, and I hesitate to say minimalist because I think adding the bill slot on the Tony the Ant kind of takes it out of the full minimalist category. Without that bill slot, this is much more similar to the Bugs Moran, which I find to be more of a minimalist style. But this is a nice crossover wallet if you're looking for something that's more of a small form factor, but you can still hold bills without folding the bills in half. I think the Tony the Ant is a really good way to go. And this Tony the Ant is in a really nice piece of natural Chromexcel. And I've said it a few times before in these other videos, but the natural Chromexcel and basically all the leather that we've been getting from Horween over the last 6 months even have just been super, super nice. And again, it's hard to translate that quality over a video or a photo, but check out the luster. It kind of feels how it looks. It looks a little wet, and it feels super rich and just full of greases, waxes, and oils. So all the leather from Horween sort of has that natural character and like a rich feel to it. That's sort of, to me, like what signifies Horween. And we've been selling a lot of these Tony the Ants. These are very popular. And I had to save my stunner for the end here. This is a black marbled shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox. And I'm looking at my viewfinder here. It's looking darker in the screen than it does in person. This is crazy looking. This shell is insane. And this one has been personalized for AV. So AV, when you get this, you're gonna be blown away. This is the coolest looking color 8 shell that I've seen in a while. And depending what angle you look at it, there's certain colors pop more or less. But what I'm seeing on the left here is this really interesting dynamic between the darkness of the black shells, sort of in this area here, And then the corner, it's a little bit more orange. On the top left, it's a little bit red. And down here, it's a little green. And they're sort of all converging into the center to make this really interesting mesh of color that's outrageous looking. That is so cool looking over there. And we get more of that on the right side as well. A little bit more orange to green on this bottom corner. I'm noticing it's not showing up nicely in the viewfinder, but man, this looks so sweet. And on the inside of this one, also more unique randomness. We've got a black reverse interior on this John of the Fox. And this one's cool too. It's very symmetrical again, where we have these sort of more tan green colors on the card slots in the front with some more of the aqua green colors on the top. What a cool John of the Fox. And the luster is really standing out to me on this reverse interior. Man, I'm super happy with this black marble shell Cordovan. Hope you guys dug this one. And I'd be so sad if this does not translate on the video, because this is awesome. And please don't forget that on the flash sale of our website, I'll be putting up new stuff. So if you like random, unique things, we call them one-offs here. And I'll put those up over the next week or so. I'm gonna try to do at least one a day. I might skip this Sunday. But man, I've got a lot of cool stuff that we will be popping up there, and some pretty good deals. Like this John of the Foxes that were personalized that I just don't have a home for. It kind of bums me out that I can't send this one to somebody that's named MCR. Just don't have a home for it. So we're going to do half off on things like this. So hopefully you enjoy it. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. Hope you have a great weekend. Until next time, see you later.